First and foremost, I'm going to be getting to First Samuel chapter 17, verse 40. And it says that he took his staff in his hand. This is speaking about David when he brought down Goliath. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. So let's get deeper into this, because I'm going to take it step by step on what those 5 stones were. Obviously the staff, as we know, Messiah comes through the house of David. So things prefigured, they prefigured Messiah. So everything is made in his likeness and his image. So, David, obviously in this sense, was getting ready to bring down Goliath. It all goes to how the Messiah would bring down, Lucifer's kingdom. So, obviously the stone that went inside the head of Goliath just represented Christ anyway. They all got weight. You know what I mean? Stones have weight. And when you understand what stones have weight, that's very important, because it all goes into the whole theme of the weight of the stones. That all goes into the saints. It's just written how the saints are the lively stones that build up the spiritual house of the Lord in 1 Peter 2:5. So anyway, the staff goes into the rod of God, and I'm going to get into the brook, and I'm going to get into the 5 smooth stones. So, the first stone is very important, because the first stone, goes into how, how, as it's written, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So, it's very important to understand that Noah battled against people which represented a government. They was all rejecting Noah. Remember, as it says, how the Son of Man to be rejected by the world hated him first. So everything, like I said, goes to that prefiguring. So that Noah, remember, it says to be as the days of Noah, whereas the coming of the Son of Man be. So days just means what? That means a lifetime, a man. It's a lifespan. It's a human life. So I want to get into this right quick before I delve deeper, because it's very important to understand. I had shared a video. We got to understand first and foremost that all revelation comes from Messiah. That the Holy Ghost, is written that the Holy Ghost will return. In 1 John 4:3, all deny that he come in flesh are Antichrist. So the Holy Ghost will return, and we will learn his ways in the Spirit, as is written in the book of Acts chapter 2, that his Spirit will be poured upon all flesh. The Lord will pour his Spirit on all flesh, that we should prophesy. That we should have understanding of the word. The body will receive the Spirit of God, because the Son of Man will be upon the earth as it was the first time. So, remind us of his ways. So when you understand this right here, this has nothing to do with race. Anything in this never had anything to do with race. When I had shared this, it's very important to know, as it's written in Mark 5, chapter 12. Let's delve into this right quick before I proceed in this video. So as it's written in Mark 5, verse 12, and all the devils besought him, saying, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. So, this has nothing to do with anything with race or anything like that. This is about a specific rebellious man during that time of Noah, who was rebelling against God. And that curse was falling upon that man that happened to have that image, in that sense of that likeness. So it all just came. It's nothing about a nation of people, or any specific race of people, so-called race of people being pigs. It all goes into that specific man who was just cursed. That time is like done, because it was that man who was specifically cursed with that pig spirit goes into that whole thing with that specific pig that was cursed. Same as it is with Ham. When Ham got cursed, that fell upon Ham, that fell upon Canaan. So that specific person was cursed.